You're listening to Key West Beer Tales, the sum of all beers, brought to you by the Cork and Stogie, 1218 Duval Street, Key West, Florida. The facts and opinions of the show and its staff are prone to exaggeration, error, and conjecture, and are often given under the influence, always given under the influence of drinking beer. After all, this is a beer show. It's about beer, and we are busily drinking it while discussing its merits, so what did you expect? Slurring, laughing loudly, name-calling, and belching are par for the course, so it's best if you imbibe with us in a responsible manner, just to get into the spirit. We always welcome your comments, whether we actually pay attention to them or not. Thanks for listening.
Hey!
Woohoo! Welcome to Key West Beer Tales, the sum of all beers. My name is Key West Chris. I'm your host.
I'm Danny Hoy.
Cowboy Mark.
Diamond Dave.
And Dave Sr.
And please grab yourself a beer while you're listening to our show.
And join us here at the Cork and Stogie.
Put your laughing pants on.
Yeah.
And get your notebook out, because we'll probably have a lot of fun and a lot of info.
Like broadcast shorts?
Broadcast shorts.
Yeah.
Laughing pants and broadcast shorts?
Yeah, there you go.
I like it.
They go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
well, we're here
Leg
at
and
the...
leg, actually.
Leg and leg.
It'd be leg and leg.
It's a match
Foot
made
and
in
foot.
heaven.
Well, guys, we're here at the Cork and Stogie.
1218 Duval Street.
In sunny Key West.
That's why we live here.
Dave's like out to lunch here.
He's eating the sinful
he's losing all
popcorn.
of his cues.
He's literally lunching.
He's
There's
Yes.
popcorn.
No,
missing all your cues.
Actually,
Dave,
no,
what's the
there's
sinful popcorn made of?
Sins.
not. Sins.
Baby tears.
Parmesan cheese, popcorn, and half a stick of butter,
Yeah.
and some salt,
And then more cheese, right?
and then more Parmesan cheese.
And more Parmesan
And
cheese.
it's actually fresh grated Parmesan cheese. It's not that stuff out of the little
Out of the can,
that
yeah.
you shake onto it. No,
Right.
this is what
Yeah.
grated on top of it.
It's sinful.
It is
You can get that here at the Cork and
delicious.
Stogie, by the way. It's very
It's
good.
made, yeah, it's a
1218
But Danny and
Duval
Chris
Street.
brought
Sonic Key West.
the salsa and the
Why we live
chips
here.
tonight.
Yeah, we
wow.
got salsa and chips tonight, too.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we actually have
salsa.
snacks tonight, so that's
Danny
kind
and
of fun.
Mark were talking earlier today, and Mark was kibitzing, and Mark was suggesting that maybe something spicy might be going with one of the
later
beers
beers
that we're having today. So Danny suggested we bring some salsa, so I made some salsa and
All right.
brought some chips, and here we are.
I have to tell you, the popcorn goes really well with the beer we're drinking right now.
Yes, which is the Funky Buddha from Miami. They're Floridian.
Yes.
I would
They are
think if they're
Floridian.
from Miami, they're Floridians. Actually,
It's actually an
that's the
Oakland
name of the
Park.
beer is the Floridian. And it's their twist on a German Hefeweizen.
Yes.
Yeah, it's actually I've had it before, but I'm enjoying it more than I did the last time I had it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, well,
That can happen. I think it all depends on your
Yeah,
palate.
it depends.
At
It
the
depends on
moment.
friends. Who you're drinking with makes your beer better.
let's hear it for friends.
Here for friends.
Friends is the magic word.
There's
for
your
tonight.
word tonight. Dun, 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 dun,
So,
dun,
folks,
dun,
whenever
dun,
whenever you hear
dun,
anybody
dun,
mention the
dun,
word
dun,
friends,
dun,
raise your
dun.
glass and belt one down with us.
Thank you. Thank you, friends.
All right.
Take a good quaff.
Quaff.
So I think they did a pretty good job with this beer.
Well, if I were blindfolded and I was told I was having a Hefeweizen, I'd say, okay. After I tasted it, I'd say, okay, that's an American Hefeweizen.
Yes.
Yes.
An American Hefeweizen. Nobody does a Hefeweizen like the Germans.
You know, there's one I want to try because they make such good beer and they're right next door. There's a Czech Hefeweizen over at the restaurant store.
Really?
Yeah, and I don't remember the name of it, but it was kind of on, I remember it was on the pricey side, and I was getting something else. I was on my bike, so I only had the basket. I didn't have the van with me, so I bought what I needed to buy, but I want to get that one. I want to try that.
So your basket on your bike controls your beer consumption.
Yes, it's
It's a
it's
limiter.
like, it's like a NASCAR restrictor plate.
So why is a German Hefe better than an
damn
American,
good question.
perhaps?
Well,
or what's the difference?
There's a lot of different factors here.
They've been brewing them for 1,000 years.
Yeah, they've been doing it for 1,000 years, and we've been doing it for like 10.
Yeah.
I think that pretty much sums it up.
well, maybe somebody besides me might have this question.
You know, it has a lot to do with mineral content of the water, grain, and again, mineral content of the grains.
Oh, yeah.
Minerality comes into play in a lot of different ways when you're making beer, you know, salinity and stuff like that come into play too. You know, it's like why is Norman butter better than American butter?
Oh, yeah.
It's because the cows are eating clovers and grass, but like off of fields that are commonly flooded by salt water.
Oh, yeah.
So their milk is naturally saltier.
Oh, wow.
So
They're the ones who invented the conquest.
the Normans.
The Normans, the Norman Conquest,
Yeah.
1066, Battle of Hastings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they invented the conquest.
I think you're right.
I believe other people were in charge of that prior.
And did you know that the Normans were actually blood-wise Vikings who had conquered that area of France 200 years prior?
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Well, that goes along with the Basques, who say they're descendants of Atlantis.
Atlantis, of course,
Yeah.
I believe that 100%.
Oh yeah, I do too.
If for nothing else, just the romanticism of it all.
Yeah, if for nothing else, they're crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Crazy guys.
their language is related to none other on Earth.
Yeah.
Some people assume it's either a Romance language because they're on the border between Spain and France and stuff, but their language is completely different.
Yeah, it's totally different.
They all have Spanish names like Jose or
yeah.
Miguel, but
Bob.
or Maria,
Yeah.
Bob.
Bob.
Belt.
I really,
Belt.
this it's just a delicious beer. It's an easy, very yummy.
It's also unfiltered, so it should be
Citrus-
pretty good
yes.
at the end of the keg.
Oh, it is.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for the end of the keg on this one.
It is a nice beer. Memory serves me correct. It has 5% alcohol.
Their website list does list. Their website lists actually 5.2.
Oh, does it? Yes, it does.
5.2. Yes, it does.
You know what?
Yep.
Look at our chalkboard up there.
Yeah.
I've got it listed as 5.6. You know why I've got it listed as 5.6?
No, why
Because
is
that's
that?
what it is on draft.
That's what the keg says.
keg says, yeah.
On the keg on the top, it says 5.6.
Yeah, we've talked about this before, folks, and if you haven't heard before, the kegs they'll vary, so they'll write the percentage amount on the keg itself. One of the funny things about this beer that I got a kick out of is for the IBUs on this, it's the lowest beer we've ever had.
Is that true?
12.
12. Yeah.
12.
That's the lowest one we've ever had.
That I recall. I haven't. I think the lowest one after that was like 15 or 16 or something like that.
That is fairly low.
Oh.
It's really low.
Yeah.
They don't tell us what type of hops they use, however. So
Well, Chris, one thing I've been noticing in the last actually week and a half, Dave Jr.'s been gone, so he may not have experienced this here at the Cork-Stogie. I don't know whether Mark has. People have been walking in and asking, what are the IBUs?
really,
And it's taken me by
kidding.
surprise because
That's a trend.
all we had to do before was give them the ABV and everybody was happy. Now it's all about the IBUs. The beer drinking public wants more information instead of price
Right.
Yes.
and ABV.
Yeah, I mean that's what I took away from
They're
it
looking
too.
for
and,
more.
and whether it's purely out of curiosity, and that's what I find that people will wind up eventually getting whatever they want anyway. I be you.
No, you be not me.
Well, the other thing is, we when we started this show, we thought we would try to remind people what a lager was.
yep.
And what an ale was and where they fit. And what is a Hefeweizen?
A Hefeweizen is an ale, and the weird thing about a Hefeweizen or a Weizen is that, at least for my palate, it tastes much better if it's cold than if it's like
Yes.
cool or room temperature. And which is odd because it's not supposed to work that way. Like if you went out and you got one of the Fuller's ESBs that you have in the shelf right now, it'll taste better if it's at 50, 52, 55 degrees than it will as if it was 42.
Yeah.
This tastes better at 42.
I agree. And the interesting thing about this, and speaking about the IBUs, so like the IBUs being so low, it has that kind of it's a sweeter beer. It definitely is it's a little bit stickier to clean up.
Oh, yeah.
and in this, although an American version of the Hefeweizen still pours like the German cousin.
Okay.
Or
yeah.
the German father, I should
Yeah.
say.
It's fairly effervescent then.
Yes.
Yeah,
And it
yeah,
has sometimes a mind of its own.
Yeah, yeah. One of the things is that this beer, to me, on my palate, it's like not. It's like on the cusp of becoming a sour. It's like not quite a sour, but you can feel the sourness is like back there saying, "Hey, you want me to come forward?"
Yeah, you brought up cocktails before. The thing that we do with cocktails is we try to find balance between sweet and sour, and
bitter.
and bitter,
Yeah.
and Dave's favorite, one of Dave's favorite cocktails, Dave Jr. That is the Negroni, which is 2 types of bitter liqueurs and gin. And the gin actually brings forward the sweetness and mellows the bitterness out.
Wow.
Really? Another way I mellow that out is I have a Anderson Valley Goes at the same time.
Yeah.
I sip one and I sip the Goes right after.
It's kind of like drinking the sour and eating the pickle,
Yeah,
pretty
That
much.
sort of thing.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
But yeah, I applaud everyone out there for learning about beer. I think an educated customer is the best customer to have.
Absolutely.
And if an educated customer comes into the Cork and Stogie, they also get a free Key West Beer Tales, the sum of all beer, coaster.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, just by showing up and asking
Just by
for one.
showing up and talking to someone here, like they know what they're talking about as far as beer, or even if they don't know, but they're curious.
Yeah.
Which Dave
You know?
Jr. had today.
By the way, if you want your own coaster and you can't come to Key West to get one, instead of spending a whole lot of money on a plane ticket and coming here to buy a coaster, to pick up a coaster, you can also get one through the mail by sending $3 to the Cork and Stogie, care of Key West Beer Tales, 1218 Duval Street, Key West, Florida 33040.
Thank you, Danny.
Sure.
By the
Danny's
way,
all over this.
We just blew up Untapped, by the way, because the top 3 things on Untapped about this beer is Key West Beer Tales, me,
That's right.
and that's global recent activity.
So you can also follow us on the
Funky
Untapped
Buddha,
app. So there you go.
Brewery, you're welcome.
Absolutely.
Well, we've been meaning to get Funky Buddha into Cork and Stogie for a while. It's a great Florida brewery.
Yeah.
And
They do a lot of really awesome kind of one-offs.
It's a great Florida brewery. There's no two ways.
and all their stuff is very creative. It's a fun brewery. They have unique things. Peanut butter and jelly
Yeah.
was one of the things they did early winter. That it was really good. It tasted like peanut butter and jelly.
Well, this has a lot of banana in it, so that would be kind of fun to have. You know.
Well, so the Hefeweizen style has a lot of banana in it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm
Yeah,
just
you
thinking
would
of the peanut
expect-
butter jelly and banana
you would-
sandwich.
Oh.
The Elvis.
I
the
feel
Elvis
like
sandwich.
I feel like I'm a passenger on a crashing plane. A peanut butter and jelly beer.
There's a couple
No, really.
breweries making it. I was in, not to bring up another brewery while we're talking about Funky Buddha, but I've been in Cigar City a couple of times the past couple of months, and they have had peanut butter and jelly beers both times that I've been there.
Yep, they do a good one as
And
well.
I'll tell you what, the first one that I tasted, I didn't taste the jelly. But this time I actually did because it was like a blackberry jelly, and you could taste the peanut butter and
I love a
blackberry.
peanut
in
butter
it.
and jelly sandwich, but I don't want to have it in a beer.
It was a little bit overwhelming for myself.
I've never had one, so I can't really. Maybe who knows? Maybe I
you really like peanut butter and
it's happened
like,
before.
It's a good one beer.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, a lot of that stuff is a good one beer.
Yeah.
I mean, so the Liquid Bliss, which is peanut butter chocolate espresso, is that correct?
That's from Terrapin, though.
Terrapin, yeah.
Terrapin.
Spike was just down here. He was brewing over at Bone Island
Yeah.
and at the waterfront.
And at the waterfront. What's going on with the waterfront?
Nothing.
Nothing. Bureaucratic BS, I guess.
It'll soon happen.
I'll have to return
It'll
to that
happen.
another
It'll
time.
happen.
Well, they were saying that in October.
You know, and
now it's March.
And then and not that Key West is not exploding as a craft beer destination, but then it will definitely explode as a craft beer destination. And I want to
Beautiful
repeat
facility.
what Richard at the restaurant store said. This will only raise our canoes, all of our canoes together.
Well, here's something else I heard, and just we can edit this if need be. Someone was telling me that they're pulling the brewery out of the restaurant store.
This is a rumor that I think is factual.
Yeah.
I think Jim Brady has so many high hopes for what he wants to do that Richard doesn't share.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like there's a bit of a disconnect with them. But, again, I don't know.
Yeah, but I've heard that he's going up to Isla Morada
Yes.
to brew.
Richard
Yes.
is an accountant at heart.
Okay.
And this kind of business down in Key West, an accountant doesn't like.